Welcome guys to Learning Partner. So in this video, we are going to see how we can create a to-do list app using plain JavaScript. So as you can see, this is just a simple normal design I have created. So we have some icon over here. We have a text box over here. Save icon is there. On click of save, whatever I write here, that should get added over here, right? So in the list also, I have option to edit and delete, and I have certain filters also like all, to do, in progress and closed, and I can clear all also. So these are the various functionality we have in this particular form. So let's try to complete one by one. So majorly we will be, let me open the notepad. So majorly what we will be seeing, first task will be, we add to do item from text on click of save icon. So this will be our first task. Then we need to like whatever the items we are, whatever the to do items we are storing, we need to store that into the array also. Store to do item into array, right? Then we need to write a functionality to edit functionality, then delete functionality, then filter. So that will be the last thing, filter, like based on the to do, all in progress and closed. And last one is remove all. Delete all to do items. So these are the 6 tasks we are going to carry out in this small video. Okay, so let's get started. I will share this code, right? This is just a normal CSS I have created. JS is created, and this is the small HTML. Let me just remove this. Yeah. So you can see we have this text box. So whenever we are working with JavaScript, so we need to obviously work with normal element selection and everything. So first we need to give ID, txt item, right? So for this text box, we have given the ID as txt item. Now on click of this floppy, means this particular icon, save icon. So we need to write an event. So here, let's just first on click, it will be save item or save task. Let's consider as a task, right? So on click of this button, we are going to call this function. So let's copy this and create the function in JS. Function name, round bracket, curly bracket, enter. So again, just to repeat, we will be using very simplest term to carry out this operation. Okay, we are not going to, what you can say, use advanced features and everything. We will just go with the simpler, so every basic learner can achieve this. So now in save task, what we have to do, first we will create an array. So that is where to do list array is equal to empty. So by default, we have created a variable which doesn't have anything. Empty array we have created. Now, so on click of this icon, we have to read the value from this text box, right? And we have to store that into the array. So, and it will be array of object. So why I will tell you. So let's create a variable where item name is equal to document dot get element by ID. So this is the method by which we can select particular element from the DOM. DOM means our page, and this is the ID, that is txt item. So it will go over here. Dot value. So we need to read the value from that text box, right? So this line up till this, we have selected that particular text box. Out of the text box, we are reading the value, right? So whatever the user entered into this text box, we will get that into this variable. Now we need to create an object. So where to do obj object is equal to curly bracket. Now here I need to I need to create an object of to do, right? But in that, in every task, like to do item, we should have something unique. So let's say task ID, and here it will be our array dot length plus 1. So every time it will have something unique. right? Then second will be task name, colon. This is instead of item, let's make it task name, and instead of to do task list array. Okay. So now we need to this, and task name will be this thing, the variable. Now we have got the object. Now this object consists two properties. First is the task ID and second is the task name. Now we need to push this into this task array. So dot push, or let's, okay, let it be push only. Then I will use the unshift. So this is first thing. What we have did, on click of this save icon, whatever the user types into this text box, we have read that into this variable, created an object, and push that into the task array. So let's just add a debugger and let's save. Let's click on save all. Now let's open the console. Now meeting at 12 p.m. Let's say this is my task. Okay. So now on click of save icon, you can see we have called this function. Now here you can see we have added debugger. So execution stopped here. So now we have two icons. First, either you can continue or you can execute line by line. Either you can do it from here or you have the same icon over here also. Anything you can use. So now in this variable, you can see whatever user has provided into that text box, we have got that into this variable. Now, currently in task list array, we don't have any elements, right? So length is 0 plus 1. So we will get 1. So if you see over here, task ID is 1 and task name is this. So we have got the object, and that object we are pushing into this array. So you can see in task list array, we have got 1. Let me continue and let's try to add another one. Scrum call at 3 p.m. Now if I click on save, now in the previously we had stored one elements, right? So if you hover, we have already one task that is meeting at 12. Now this is variable we have read, text box value we have read and put it into the task name. Now task list already has one element. So length is 1. So now 1 plus 1 will be 2. So if you see now in this object, task ID is 2 and task name is different, right? So whatever we are doing, we are every time whenever we are saving some task into our array, we are adding a unique ID, because every time what we are doing, we are getting the length of the array and adding 1. So every time it will be something unique that will be pushed into the task ID, right? So now if you see in task list, we have task 1 ID, task ID 1 with having meeting at 12 p.m, task ID 2, which is having task name scrum call at 3 p.m, right? So first task is done. So out of our list, so this is first task is done, that is storing to-do items into the array. Now, next task is whatever the items we have to show that first task is done. Second task is like we need to render whatever the array items we have into this list, right? So for that, let's create a separate function render task list, right? So this is a function. Now what we need to do, we need to render li. So you can see the structure, you can see here only, right? So I have added two names, two tasks here. This is a static one. So this is nothing but li, as you can see, right? So we need to design same structure like this. So whenever we have to create a dynamic HTML element into JavaScript, so we have to use document.createElement method. So let's say li dynamic li is equal to document.createElement. Now what we need to create, we need to pass it. We need to create li, right? So after this, we need to add a class also. So if you can see for this li, we have a task, that is task. Okay. So dynamic li dot add class, or class list will be there. Class list dot add, and we need to add one class, that is, let's just copy paste, that is task, and put it over here. So first thing is done. We have created li and we have added a class also to this. Then we need to create label. Okay, so let's create label again, where my label is equal to document dot create element, and inside that we need to pass label. So this we have to create. So we just need to pass it over here. Right. So as per you can see, label we have created. Inside label we have paragraph. So again, we have to create my para is equal to document dot create element, and inside that p tag we have to pass. Now inside p tag we have to display our task name, whatever it can be. So now this whole code we have to write inside the for loop. So for loop means the array list. So for where index is equal to, let's start from 0, index less than equal to less than task list array dot length. So we have to use the for loop up till whatever the length we have, then index plus plus, then curly bracket enter. So we have to wrap this code inside the for loop. So because this should be dynamic, right? So we have created para. Now in this paragraph, we have to show our whatever the task name is, right? So my para dot text content is equal to array out of that square bracket. Then we have to pass index, because in task list array, we have then array of object. Out of that, we need to show task name dot task name, right? So we have created para. Now this paragraph is inside the label. So we have created label also. So my label dot append child inside that. So we need to pass my para. Let's see if it works or not. Then we will check if it is not working. So we have created label. Inside that label, we have created paragraph also. We have set the content also. Now this label we have inside the li. So dynamic li dot append child, we have to pass this label, right? So now we have got the complete li. Just these icons are remaining, but we will create it later. So this li we need to append it to our ul. So document dot get element by id round bracket. Let's see if ul has the id. Let's add it id my task list. This is my ul id. So this will go over here. So what we have did here, we have just selected the ul dot append child. Now here we need to pass dynamic li. So let's just write till this and let's see if it is working fine or not. So let's just add a debugger. And we need to call this function once we have pushed the element to the array like this. So after pushing the array, pushing particular object to the array, we are calling this function. So let me just remove the existing one. So we had this, or let's just comment it out. So let's save all. Yes. So meeting at 12 p.m. Let's click on save icon. So currently we don't have any items in the array. We have created object, task ID 1 and task name. Then we have pushed that into this array, right? Then we are calling this function. So it will go to that function now. See, now here we are using the for loop. So let's add a debugger at line number 17. You can add a debugger from here also. You can see the line number. You just have to click it over here, right? So now first thing we have created li. Then we have added class, then we have created label, then we have created paragraph. Inside paragraph, we are trying to set the text. So if you can see array index is 0, right? Array out of 0 dot task names. So if you see this whole thing, see particular text we have got, and we are setting that text into the paragraph. Then paragraph we are appending to the label, and then that label we are appending to the li. Then we are appending particular li to our ul. So let's see if it renders perfectly or not. Yeah. So you can see we have got this. Let's try to add one more. Now I won't debug it. Then this will be Scrum call at 3 p.m. Let's click on save. Okay. Now if you see, we have got this twice because we have to clear ul every time we are running this function. So this is whenever we are calling the function, first we need to create the existing one. So .html inner HTML is equal to empty. So we are just clearing it. So let's save and check it again. So now let me just close this. This will be meeting at 12 p.m. Let's click on save. So perfectly working. Then Scrum call at 5 p.m. Let's click on save and let's see. Yeah. So you can see we have got the correct output. Now the next thing is like we need the icons also, right? So for icon, we need to again create a div and add two icon, and we need to add some class also. So let's just copy this. Let's create the content also. So up till now we have created, here we have created li, then we have created label, and inside that label we have created paragraph also. Now we need to create our div. Let me just copy this. Now we need to create a div. So where my div is equal to again document dot create element. What we need to create? Div. So div then inside div, for this div we need to add one class, that is settings. So my div dot class list dot add, and we need to add the class that is setting, right? So this line is done. After that we need to create icon, right? So where, what is this? Edit icon is equal to document dot create element. Then we need to create element that is I. Then we need to add a class to this edit icon. So edit icon dot class list dot add, and this is this class, semicolon. So let me just copy paste this, and this will be delete icon. And delete icon will be far trash. So I'm using the font awesome one. Now this div is completed. Now edit icon is there and delete icon is there, right? So we need to push this, means append this into this div. So my div dot append child, and we need to pass edit icon. Then my div dot append child with delete icon, right? So we have added two icons also, and this div we need to push it inside this li. My div will go inside over here. So let's see the whole thing is working or not. So meeting. Okay, we have got some error. Let's check. Failed to execute add on DOM list. Okay, so because we have added the space, so I think we have to add one by one. So let's copy this. Like this. Like this. Okay, same thing with the delete also. I think we can just add it one class at a time. Then this also. Now let's check. Yeah, so you can see we have got the structure now. And icons. Now, next thing is like on click of delete icon, we need to remove this, right? So somehow we need to add an event to this dynamically created icon. So for that, this is a delete icon, right? So after delete icon, we can add an event also. So delete icon dot add event listener, then it will have two events, two parameters. First is like event type, that is click, and a function to be called. So delete task. This is the function which we will be calling on this click. So we need to create this function. So function delete task and current. And we are going to need the task ID. So this will have a parameter. Now we need to create, let's add it at the event only, right? Then we need to store some value into this. So delete icon dot task ID is equal to task item array, then index dot task list task ID. So this will go over here. So now this function is going something bigger because we have to add it everything dynamically. So we have added a click event like this. We need to add event also. So instead of this, it will be this, it will be this. And on click of this edit icon, we need to call edit task. So let's save and check. We need to create that function also, edit task. So function edit task, right bracket, curly bracket, and here also we will have the event. So let's just add a debugger and let's check if we get the task ID or not. So we will get that in a target element. So let's save and check. So this is meeting. Let's save. Scrum call. Let's save. Now let's open the console. Now first we will try to click on the delete. So on click of delete, you can see delete task function got executed. Now event, in event we have got the everything. So event dot target element. We need the element parameter also, right? So inside that task ID we had stored. So see, task ID we have got, right? So if we try to do the same thing with second element, let's try to run the same line. So you can see task ID 2 we have got. Now let's try the edit function. On click of edit function is called, and again same thing, right? So on click of edit and on click of delete, we are getting the particular task ID, like on which particular task we are clicking on edit or the delete. Now let's write the functionality to delete the item. So we have an array, right? So inside that array we have array of object, and we have got the task ID, like which element we have to remove. So we can use that task ID to remove. So here we can use find index method, where index is equal to array dot find index, and we need to pass the condition m equal to m dot task ID. We need to compare it with the task ID. So task ID equal to event dot target element. Let's copy it from console dot task ID. So here we will get the particular index of that particular task ID from this array, and then we just need to splice it. So splice, we need to pass the index, that is index, and how many elements we need to remove. So just one, right? So now let's see if it works or not properly. Okay, we have created function inside function. This should be outside. Let me remove. Yes. Meeting. Scrum call. Then let's go to market. So we have 3 tasks, right? Let me just open it to the side panel. Yes. So as you can see, we have 3 tasks. Now let's try to delete the middle one, that is Scrum call. So let me enable the debugger first. Now if I click on the delete icon, you can see delete function got called. Now in event dot target dot task ID, we have got 2. Now if you see in task array, we have got second element, that is Scrum call. So if I execute, so index we have got 1 because task ID 2 is at the index 1. As you can see, we have 0, 1, and 2, but task ID 2 is at the index 2. So we have got that. Now continue. So as you can see, task ID 2 has been removed. Got it? So this is how we have did. But after delete, If I continue, this is still not refreshed. So we need to call this function. So same function, we need to call this after delete also. So let's copy and let's paste it over here. So now after deleting the array, after deleting the particular task from the array, we are just calling this function, and this function is responsible to render the UI again. So let's save and check. Let me just disable meeting. So we are doing just step by step. So you should understand like what things we have to do. Market visit. Okay. Now let me enable. If I click on the Scrum call delete, so it has gone here. Now current task ID is 2. So F10, we have got the index as 1. Then we have removed that. So you can see we have just 2 tasks now. Now if I continue, so again, see it has got removed. I'm like trying to remove the first one. See, got it? So we have removed all the tasks. So delete is done. Now next thing is edit. So edit is again very simple. So in edit, we are getting just like this, we are getting the ID, right? So we just need to pick particular, what we can say, particular task from that array. So we just need to use, instead of find index, we need to use find method, because find method is will get us the particular object, right? So if we have got the particular object, then we need to assign it back to the text box. So this is our text box. So we need to just assign it. Task ID dot value equal to object dot task name. So this will go over here. So let's save and check now. We are checking now edit icon. First meeting, market visit. Let's click on save. Now let's say if I want to edit the market risk item. So if I will click on edit, now in event.target.id, we have got 2. So if I continue in the market list, sorry, task list, we have got the second task, which is having market list. So see, in object, we have got that particular object. And we are trying to set the value of, okay, first we need to reload it. Let me remove this. Now if I click, then you will understand. So currently in text box, we don't have value, but in object, what we have got, particular record we have got, right? Task ID and task everything. So now we are assigning that. So you can see here we have got. So if I say meeting, let me just debug on. So you can see edit is working, right? So this is how we can do the edit. Now, next thing is we need to, what we can say, we need to just add one more thing to make it to do in progress and close, right? So we just need to add some more icons and we can do the same things, right? So let's try to add some more icons, but again, it will increase our this code. Okay, so for now, let's just remove that. But the basic thing we have did. So we have created new task, we have edited that, and we have deleted that also, right? So let's just write one more task to clear all. So on this button click, we need to remove all the tasks. So for that, a simple click event will be necessary. And one more extra thing we will be saying, like storing the same thing in local storage. So on click, remove all, and this is function. So let's copy this. Let's create the function. Now, here what we need to do, we just need to remove all the elements from the array. So what we can do, this dot splice, and we don't need to, we can say like from where we have to start. You can see splice, it needs 2 parameters, start and the delete count. So if we say 0 and we don't pass the second argument now, so it will remove all the elements. And after deleting, we need to call this function to re-render the UI. So let's save and check now. So if I'm adding meeting, then Scrum call, market visit. Okay. Now, if I say clear all, let's just add a debugger. We have got this function call. Currently in this array, we have got 3 elements. But if I run this line, so you can see all the elements got removed because we have said we have used splice method and we have just sent the one parameter starting position, but we haven't second parameter is missing. We haven't told it. No, we have informed that function that how much elements you need to remove. So it will remove everything. Then we are calling this function. So this function is responsible to re-render the UI according to the array, but array is empty. So it will remove all the elements. See. So this is how we have completed the basic CRUD application. In next video, I will try to achieve this filtration and the okay, one more thing, like we can store the same thing into local storage, because every time if we store something and if we reload the page, we are not getting anything. So let's just try to store the thing. So what we need to do, whenever we are saving or saving or removing element, we just need to store the things into local storage. So local storage dot set item method, then our key set item will need 2 parameter, key and the value. So key will be to do task list. This is my key. Then whenever we are storing values to local storage, we need to store that into the string format only. This is an array, so we cannot store that array directly into the local storage. So we need to stringify it. So we have directly JSON dot stringify method is there. To this method, we need to pass the array. So it will it will convert this array into the string. Right? So let's just see this, if we are getting the data in local storage or not. So local storage we will get in the application and local storage. So let me just remove everything. If I say meeting and click on save, so you can see currently in to do task list, we have got array, and inside that array, we can see only one element. Now Scrum call. Again, if I click on save, so you can see in the array now we have 2 elements. But now if I refresh, still I cannot see. Right? In the local storage, I have the data, but it is not rendered here. So on the page load, we need to call. On the page load, first we need to read the data from the local storage. Right? So where is local data present is equal to local storage dot, instead of set item, it will be get item. For a get item, we just need one parameter, that is our key. So we will add like if condition, if local data is present, means key is present, not equal to, means we have got some data into the local storage. Then we are assigning that data to this variable. But while storing the data, we have stored that into the string format. So again, we need to convert it back to the array format. So for that, JSON dot parse method is there. So JSON dot parse method is used to convert the string data into array or object. So let's save and check. Now after this, we need to call this function also, render, to re-render the UI. So here we will calling this function. Now if you see on the page load also, still you can see the data. Because on the page load, what we are doing, we are reading the data from the local storage, and if data is there, we are converting that string data into array, and we are calling this function to re-render. So same thing you can see. Let's add market visit. Let's click on save. Now, how many times if I refresh, data is still there and I can show that. Let's try to remove the Scrum call. Now, if I refresh, still I can see the 3 data, because on click of delete, we haven't updated the local storage, right? See, if I'm deleting, local storage data is same only, right? So we need to, on click of delete also, we need to update the local storage. So for that, this same line will go after delete also. So after removing, it will go over here. So now if I refresh, we have 3 elements. Just pay attention over here. Currently, we have 3 elements in the local storage. But if I remove this, we have got 2. Now, if I refresh, you can see only 2 elements are there. So this is the thing how we have managed to, by using simple JavaScript concept, we have created an to-do application, very basic one. Right? So hope you have liked the video. In the next video, I will be trying to cover this filtration things Again, we can have a checkbox over here so that we can delete selected record. So something advanced we will try to complete. So please till then do like my videos, do subscribe, and please add comments so that other can find it.